Okay, folks, check it out. We making Kung Pao chicken, right? Super easy. I want you guys to look. You can see I got a few ingredients here, but the first thing I'm gonna do is I already done washed my breast. I'm gonna go ahead and just bring this out of here. And what I wanna do is cut this down into bite-sized pieces, right? I hope you guys like the way I'm doing these videos now. I'm just getting right into them. You know what I mean? Because listen, the holiday's coming. Then plus we got family, friends over. Then we gotta feed ourselves and all of that, right? So I'm just cutting this down, getting right into it. Because look, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna set up our marinade, right? So what we're gonna do is cut this down into like small, bite-sized pieces. You can see I cut them down. I kind of like want them all to be the same though. You know what I mean? Because I want this one to be ready along with this one here. But you see the difference? We gotta get that down. So let's cut it like this. There we go. We starting to get to about the same size. Now that I got them all cut down into bite-sized pieces, they kind of like range. I mean, who wants to get them all where they're the exact same size, right? So I have these here, right? So first thing I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take this bowl here, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up the marinade. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to the way these bowls are arranged. This is what I need now. This is my marinade. And the rest of it is sauces, and if I put a little space back here, that goes in at that time. I'm gonna need, so it's really like 3 phases. 1, 2, 3. But I want to show you guys, just it's real simple once you lay everything out, right? So now I'm gonna take this. Let's go ahead and add that in there. I'm gonna put my whisk in here now. Add my other. Now this right here is all going into my marinade, right? And then now that I'm moving this around, I just put a little bit in, and I like to just give it a whisk. And now that I don't have any lumps, right? Everything is fully dissolved. Now I'm gonna add a couple of tablespoons of my infused olive oil. Look at this right here, folks. Yes, sir, and this is scallion. Sometimes I use scallion, sometimes I use garlic. You know what I mean? It depends on what type of flavor I feel like when I refill. It comes up with like a little bit of a reaction because we put the cornstarch and all those ingredients in there, right? So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our bite-sized pieces and we're gonna put these in here. Now we wanna let these marinate for about 10 to 20 minutes. 10 minutes would be the least. That does work. Let me go ahead and clean this off, bring this over here. All right, so now you just want to get in here and work this with your hand. You want to make sure it's all completely covered, right? And this right here is going to tenderize this chicken. Don't forget we got breast. Now, a question you guys might ask is, can we use chicken thigh? Yes, you can. You know what I mean? I could have cut up boneless, skinless chicken thigh and done it just the same. But for these recipes like this, I love to use, like the breast. Now, don't forget, the full ingredient list will be on my website, and that's smokingandgrillingwithab.com, and that's WITAB.com. Hey, and by the way, don't forget, like this video if you'd like to see this kind of content. Talk to me down in that comment section. Now I'm gonna set this off to the side. We're gonna let that marinate, you know what I mean? Now, I can put it in the refrigerator, you know what I mean? Cover it with saran wrap, but by the time I get all of this ready to go, I'm showing you guys a simplified, version of making this Kung Pao chicken, right? So now, remember these ingredients right here? We're gonna bring these right here, because look, they up next. Matter of fact, let's bring them here, 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 right? So this is gonna be the sauce. Now, what we wanna do is we wanna put everything in the inside here, right? Get my whisk. I like to have that, especially when I put anything dry in there, because it have a tendency to form, like clumps, lumps, right? So it'd be a good idea, folks, and best practices to make sure that you got the right tools for the job, right? So you see how I got a smaller spatula? You know what I mean? Because look, if we take the time to measure, we want to get all of the measurements in the inside. And then if you guys take a look over here I think it'll be to your right here, my left, I keep my hot soapy water so that when I get through, I can wash these and knock these out. And now we whisk. The objective is not to get any lumps, right? You guys will like the fact that I simplify them and teach you guys how to just like measure them out, set them aside, as you need them. And look, now we got our sauce ready. This is still marinating. I'll put that over there like that. That'll go in when this time is ready. So, and I'll see you guys probably in about another 15 minutes. All right, so once you got your sauce made, we already know we started our marinade, right? To tenderize the chicken, get a little flavor in there also. So then what you wanna do is get yourself a bowl. Let me go ahead and start preheating my wok, put some fire under here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a couple of tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Some of you guys, if you have it available, it's okay to go ahead and use avocado oil, because the smoke point on that is way higher than this because we're gonna be using like a medium-high flame. I'm gonna drop all of this in there in just 1 second. So once you're hot enough, you know what I mean, you wanna just go ahead and put it in just like you see. So what I'm doing now is just trying to get everything to be, you know, as flat as I can to get as much surface contact as I can. And we're just gonna let this cook, and then we're gonna keep stirring this around until it becomes golden brown. Now this bowl that you see over here on this other side, once it gets golden brown and it's cooked completely, I'm gonna take this out, put it in here, and we're gonna set that to the side. When it's fully cooked, how do we know, right? I use a meat thermometer. I'm looking for 165, especially because these are like the breasts, right? This is breast meat. So let's stick this in there right there. You know what I mean? That went to 170. I'm gonna turn this off, and then we're gonna check just a couple of more. I'm looking for like the thicker ones. But look at that right here. Oh my goodness, y'all. These are gonna be fire. I'll bring that around, look, 160, 163, 165. That tells me all of this is, you know, good. Since that's done, I take myself a bowl, you know what I mean? And I just put this in here, right? So now we get ready to do our veggies. So anything that was left inside of the pan, you guys know that's called what? Exactly, fine. So these are hex clad, nothing really sticks. It might just like cook on there, but it'll really just wipe off, right? But that right there, if you ever had Kung Pao, look at that right there. So now we got a half of a red and a half of a green, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and cut these down. Now I want you guys to notice the size that I cut these, right? I don't cut them down like we're not finna do no dice like we normally do. This is gonna be really just for like the texture, right? So meaning being, when you do large, that's more so for texture and taste too though. But you know, when you do small, that's really for the flavor, right? So I'm gonna cut them down like that, and this is what you wanna have. You know what I mean? That's why we just do half. This is gonna give it some nice color, right? You guys will see. And some of y'all looking at this right now like, man, saying, I didn't know Kung Pao was that easy to make. It's really about the way you explain it, the way you set it up, and you'll have success, folks. Next, after prepping that, I just like to cut down my, there's no order. I don't know why I say it that way, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut my dry peppers, right? So I know it's dropping some seeds, you know what I mean, and popping everywhere, but that's okay. All right, so since we took the chicken out, right, it left a little residue in here, and you know, it left a little fine, right? So I do take a paper towel and just wipe up whatever I can, whatever, you know, is in there that we're not gonna worry about it. We wanna put ourselves about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, whatever cooking oil, whatever cooking oil that you would like. I'm just partial to this because this is made by Branch and Vine, and anytime I use the oil, I like for it to be infused with that flavor. Right, so we're gonna bring this up to temp. Got a nice heat under there. Now you wanna go ahead and just put the rest, you know, your bell peppers in there. Right, I'll start with these first. Right, let me go ahead and grab my wooden spoon. And then again, I like to move this around because this right here helps pick up any of the fine that's in your pan. Right, next we're gonna come with our chili and add that. Remember, I do seeds and all. Now, one thing I noticed, like whenever I'm using a wok, the heat is concentrated here. If I want things to stop cooking as fast, I'll move them out and away. You know what I mean? But right now, we want to go ahead and get these going, right? Look at the color. All right, next I'm gonna come with my ginger. I'm gonna grate this freshly, and I'm gonna put it right here on top, right, folks? So we want to get about a tablespoon. Don't forget, graters, they grate one way. So notice how I'm just taking it down. You know what I mean? I pick it up and bring it back, and then I go back down. A lot of this is gonna be underneath the bottom, right? So I know that. I want you guys to know, just in case you don't see anything dropping right now, but when I do like that, there it is, freshly grated. Notice I put that on top, right? And I'm gonna do the same thing with my garlic. Add my garlic. I press. Whew. Love pressing garlic. All right, I'll move that around there, but I want to put my garlic on top, and especially my garlic, right? Because I don't want it to burn. Now we can just move this around and cook this in. Oh yeah, look at that right there, folks. Now, usually I stir this for about 3 to 4 minutes. You know what I mean? Just keep going, treating it like a stir fry, right? Next, I still got my whisk in here, just making sure everything none of my ingredients from my sauce is separated. It hasn't, you know what I mean? So then we want to pour this in here. Now what you want to do is you want to just keep stirring this, you know what I mean? And keep it under that high heat, because what this is going to do is it's going to start to thicken. Once it starts to thicken, then we're going to reintroduce our chicken to it, folks. Real simple. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my green onion and we're gonna chop these down. You know what I mean? Nothing like having that real onion up in there either. Then we like to see a little bit, you know, as a little bit of the garnish. Let's check our sauce. Remember, we waiting for it to thicken up. Look at that. It's on its way. I'm gonna let it get just a little thicker. Then we add the rest of our ingredients. Now we starting to get the thickness that I like. Watch this. When I come up over here and I see it kind of like works its way down, still trying to stick to the pan. Yes, sir. Now I'm going to introduce my chicken to it. And then what we're going to do is just stir this around. Now you'll see how the dish just starts to come together and be a little bit more on the familiar side of what you guys know, right? Nice and thick sauce. Look at that right there. Yes, sir. It's almost like magic, huh? Once you put that chicken in there. I don't know if y'all can hear it. I got that smile on it because look, I like Kung Pao. You know what I mean? I didn't like to make it in the very beginning because I was making it a different way. But once you simplify it and put everything together the way I showed you guys in the very beginning, yes, sir. Look at that right there. All right, so those of you guys that had Kung Pao know that it has peanuts in it. You know what I mean? You can omit this if you would like. You know what I mean? I'm just going to add a little bit to it. And then we're going to come with our green onion. Now, I'm not going to do the tops first. I'm going to go ahead and go with the larger chops, you know, the bottom half. All right? Let's go ahead and get that mixed in there. How's it looking, folks? Y'all tell me. Now, I didn't turn my fire off if I hadn't said nothing already. But I just want you guys to pay attention to it, look at it. And I want to see you guys have the same success, folks. Now I'm going to just take a handful of the tops and just add these in there, right? And that there, folks, is Kung Pao Chicken. Okay, folks, so here it is. I got to take some pictures of this. You guys have already probably seen a version of it, you know what I mean? Because we voting on it, right, to find out which thumbnail looks the best. So what I did was I took my paper plate, got me a little rice on that, put some of this on the top. Listen, I'm not finna over talk it, folks. We just finna get right in here and get us some Kung Pao. Got to get some of that chicken. You know what I mean? Some of them veggies. Let me just go ahead and get it like this. Ooh-wee. Cheers, y'all. Yes, sir. Hold on. Now listen, I don't want to do all that long talking. I done put the hard work in and simplified it the best way I can. For those of you guys who have never ever had Kung Pao, you better try this. Let me know. Come back and talk to me down in that comment section below. I promise you I'm gonna talk back. Now, if you're new to my channel, let me take this time to say thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, smash that subscribe button, and tell everybody out there there's a channel out here that's simplifying these recipes and taking the mystery out of cooking. And if you want to know why I'm laughing, because I got to get these pictures, and then I'm ready to eat, folks. Guess what? I'm out. Peace.